You are not sitting here by accident. You came across these words because something in you already knows the truth I'm about to reveal. This is not mere philosophy. It is an initiation, an invitation to see yourself with eyes unclouded by illusion. The empath, that luminous and fragile being, is not simply a person who feels deeply. You are a threshold between worlds. You are not chosen for comfort. You are chosen for carrying what others refuse to face. And whether you realize it or not, your gift has been both your blessing and your curse. Let us begin with the unsettling truth. Your light is being consumed, not metaphorically, not as a poetic exaggeration, but in a very real, very subtle way. There are people who cannot generate inner light on their own. To them, your presence feels like water to a man dying of thirst. They may not wish you harm, but their hunger will strip you bare all the same. You've felt it before. Those conversations that leave you strangely tired, the friendships that feel one-sided, the moments where someone's sorrow becomes heavier on your chest than your own. This is not weakness. It is not oversensitivity. It is your nervous system signaling someone is feeding. Now let us descend into the language of dreams, because dreams often show what waking life refuses to admit. A patient once told me she dreamt she was a lantern in a field at night. Dozens of moths surrounded her, fluttering endlessly, striking her glass again and again. With each impact, her flame dimmed just slightly. She awoke in tears, unable to explain why. The moths were not demons, they were not evil. They were simply drawn to her light, yet in their devotion they diminished her. And so it is with you. When your boundaries are fragile, when your yes is automatic, when your heart remains endlessly open, you mistake openness for love. But love without limits is not sacred. It is erosion. And here lies the most dangerous truth. A part of you allows it. The shadow within, the one who learned long ago that usefulness equals worth, welcomes the feeding. The child inside you, who grew up calming storms that weren't hers to calm, whispers still, "If I keep giving, maybe they won't leave me." This is the unconscious contract of the empath, not forced, chosen again and again. So what is this light of yours that others are so desperate to consume? It is not simply kindness or sweetness. It is far older. It is the soul's instinct to bring order out of chaos, to weave unity from division, to reveal meaning where none seems to exist. Your presence does not soothe only because you are gentle. It soothes because it awakens memory in others of who they could be. But to the broken, the manipulative, or the unintegrated, your presence is not personhood, it is fuel. They approach not with gratitude, but with stories, crises, charm, and need. They tell you, "I can't do this without you." And you believe them, because somewhere deep inside, abandonment still terrifies you more than depletion. Let us speak plainly. Many empaths were once children who carried the emotional weight of their households. You felt what wasn't said. You learned to read the air before words were spoken. You became the family's emotional barometer, bending yourself to prevent storms. That child never had the luxury of innocence. She grew into you, the adult who still believes safety comes from overgiving. But this is the oldest betrayal. The more you give from emptiness, the more empty you become. And the more empty you become, the more you mistake exhaustion for purpose. You must understand, your gift is not sacrifice. Your sensitivity is not martyrdom. If you keep giving without receiving, you are not being noble. You are being consumed. Now, let us travel deeper. Beneath the empath lies the archetype of the wounded healer. Like Chiron, who could heal every wound but not his own. Your pain made you wise, but it also made you blind. It is easier to rescue others than to face the neglected child within you. Easier to heal a friend's heartbreak than to touch your own. But healing never happens through projection. You cannot rewrite your childhood by saving another broken soul. Sacred things must be protected. In ancient temples, only the initiated could enter the inner sanctum. Not because the sacred was cruel, but because it demanded reverence. You, dear empath, have let everyone into your temple, anyone sad, anyone lost, anyone charming enough to knock. And so your inner sanctum lies desecrated by endless footprints. Discernment is your missing virtue. To feel and still say no. To witness pain without carrying it. To hold presence without dissolving in it. This is what separates the healer from the hostage. Yet most modern empaths confuse hypervigilance with intuition, compassion with codependency, and self-erasure with generosity. I tell you this not to shame, but to liberate. Because when you untangle your gift from your trauma, your light becomes steady. It stops flickering with every storm. It shines not as a buffet for the starving, but as a beacon for the lost. But know this, when you begin to protect your light, those who once fed on you will resist. They will call you selfish. They will say you've changed, and they will be right. You must change, for the empath who never says no eventually hardens into bitterness. She becomes the very thing she once despised, not out of evil, but because her light was bled dry. Your task now is not to keep giving. It is to gather back what you scattered, the laughter you surrendered to please others, the peace you buried to avoid conflict, the dreams you dimmed for someone else's comfort. Call them home, all of them. You are not a sponge. You are not a remedy for anyone's emptiness. You are a soul. Souls are not food. They are fire. And when your empathy evolves, you no longer absorb. You transmute. You become a vessel, not a sponge. Like a river that flows through but never floods, you allow pain to move past you, not into you. This is the highest form of empathy, not martyrdom, but alchemy. Why then were you chosen to feel so deeply? Not because you were cursed, but because you were initiated. Empaths are forged in fire, neglect, overwhelm, ancestral wounds. Yet from that fire, an instinct awakens to unify what has been divided. The true empath is a bridge walker, able to hold sorrow and joy, chaos and calm without collapsing. But only if you stop leaking your power. You must let the rescuer die. You must grieve the identity built on indispensability. Only then can your true self emerge, messy, whole, authentic. Yes, you will miss the drama. You will miss being the hero. But these were your addictions, and addictions must fall away. You were never meant to be the shelter for everyone else's storms. You were meant to be the keeper of your own temple. Let the world hold itself. Let the takers find their own light. Let the narcissist collapse without your energy to stabilize them. Then, in silence, you will feel it, the pulse of your own soul. Gentle at first, then stronger. It will guide you where to go, who to trust, what to say yes to, and when to walk away. This is your empathy, finally returned to you. Not as a burden, but as a compass. Not as martyrdom, but as alignment. And here, at last, you will taste joy. Not the high of being needed, not the fragile approval of being indispensable, but the deep-rooted joy of simply being, whole in yourself, home in your own body. This is your inheritance. This is your rebirth. Protect it, guard it. Let your empathy be fire, not food. And when others call you selfish, smile, for it means you are no longer prey. You have become flame. If these words resonated with you, remember, your light matters. Protect it. And if you found value here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so more seekers can find this message.